Well guys, the cams and the springs came from Morana Racing. Let's open the box up. Well, they definitely taped it good enough. I don't want to show you guys the front because it has my address on here and phone number, so stay tuned. Alright, so let's see what we got. So we got an envelope, not sure what's in it, but we will open it up then. And it looks like the cams. So let's see. Affordable Performance 4.0 Ford V6. Looks like same thing on that one, so I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. So in the envelope was a sticker and a business card. So there you go, guys. If you want some cams for your 4.0, here you go. There we go. There's one of number 2 cam shafts. So these were custom regrind. I had told them I want a loopy cam, so I want the most aggressive idle cam that they possibly could do, and he said no problem, we'll do it, and this is the outcome. So follow the build, guys. Alright guys, so this is it. This will probably be, well, maybe second to last, third to last video. So it's early in the morning, dropping the Mustang off to get the cams and springs installed. So this will be the last Mustang video that you guys are going to see until the cams are done. You know, I'll have other videos uploaded. So in 2 days or so, you guys are probably going to see the cam video unless I have another project vehicle uploaded until then. But yeah, so we'll see how long it takes them to install the cams and go from there. So a little nervous, a little excited, a little curious. We'll see what happens, guys. So it rained cats and buckets, dogs and chicken nuggets last night. But looks like this morning is a decent morning. It's pretty cloudy though as far as over there, so I don't know if I think the rain is done. So yeah, let's go out for the final start of the Mustang until the cams are in. So here's how she sounds. She sounds really good for a V6 already. I got the perfect exhaust tune, I think. I'm extremely happy, so I think everything goes good. It's going to sound phenomenal. I just love these halo headlights. They're so cool. So, all right. Where do we start? You guys are not going to see a cammed 4.0 Mustang. You're going to have to look elsewhere. So, and the reason for that is because Tom Morana, basically of Affordable Performance, Morana Racing, basically lied from the very beginning on everything. So, when I first started looking for cams for the 4.0 Mustang, I came across Tom Morana's site, and I sent an email saying, hey, this is what I want. And they sent an email back saying, yeah, we can do that. That's no problem. Give us a call, blah, blah, blah. So, gave them a call, spoke to their the sales rep or whatever, who claimed that they were very knowledgeable about cams and this and that. Went over a whole bunch of stuff. I'm speeding this up a little bit because there were multiple emails sent back and forth with me asking questions and stuff. Went over everything. I said, okay, so I would like to purchase cams. Is that all I need? And they said, no, you actually need heavier springs for those cams as well. And I said, okay, so went over the details. I said, okay, so I need the cams and springs, and is that everything I need, or is there something else I have to do, or something I need? They said, nope, that's all you need to do for the swap. You need the cams and you need the heavier springs. That's all I was told. That's it. So, okay, no problem. Went through with it. 4 weeks later, cams showed up. A couple days after that, got it scheduled with a company that does a lot of motor building. I mean, a lot of different types of stuff like that. So, great, no problem. Well, they put the cams in, started it up, and started having misfires and low compression. So, took it apart, just checked to make sure they didn't do anything. Everything was all right. They called Tom, spoke to Tom. They didn't really get anywhere with him, which is no big surprise, because I believe he thinks he's a know-it-all. And, you know, I'm not going to get into, this is, like I said, this is probably the 5th video I've made over this, and I'm just, you know, I'm not getting into everything anymore. I'm just done with him, done with that company. I would never recommend that company to anybody in the world. Don't do it. If you're interested, look up Super 6 Motorsports. And still, I caution you with that kind of stuff. When you get into internals on the 4.0, I caution you. So, called. They couldn't get anywhere with him. Then he started saying, oh, well, you got to shim it. You got to do this. You got to do that. And then he tried to call, and he actually called me. He thought I was the mechanic. So he called me and was going over stuff. And I was thinking, wait a second, you're lying. He said, oh, well, I told this guy this and this. Because he thought I was a mechanic. He didn't know I was the guy that originally he spoke to with the cams. Well, I was going to say something, then I'm like, you know what, let's see what he's got to say. And he was saying a lot of lies about stuff. And then at the end, I finally said he asked for my name, and I gave him his name. He said, oh, I thought you were the mechanic. Okay, well, good to touch base with you. Have a good day. Bye. It's like, okay. Anyway, so he said you have to shim it and some other stuff. Okay, well, the garage did exactly what he said. Oh, and then we still had issues. Oh, and then he started saying, well, you got to do it perfectly this. The cams should have came with a spec paper on, you know, what perfect size this, what perfect size that. But yet, I'm buying the cams from this dude. Supposedly, you know, the cams that he's selling are supposed to be Tom Morana Racing cams. Well, it turns out they are not. They were, I don't know if I can bring it up, like Lift Camshaft and Chrome Plating Company or whatnot. After all this, he sent me this stupid tag, which you can see that half of the wording on it is actually old, and then he just wrote some new stuff, which was recent. So after we did everything he said, he made up a whole bunch of other stuff, and it turns out that the cams we called where the original cams were bought from,
I was thinking I'm getting the cams from Tom Morana Racing. Well, that's not the case. And he was saying, oh, well, it should have came with a spec paper and this and that. The cam company should have put the spec paper. I was like, wait a second. First of all, you guys tell me that all we need is the springs and the cams and swap the old ones out. Now you're telling me about shims, because in the call, he tried to offer me 50% off for the shims. I was like, buddy, you said everything that we need is included with the cams and springs. Lies, lies, lies from up front. So, we call the cam company that was on the card that supposedly the cams are from. We asked them, hey, you know about these cams? They said, what are you talking about? We haven't done a 4.0 cam in a very, very long time. So we told them Tom Morana, the name, and they looked it up. They couldn't find any records within the last couple years from Tom Morana, Affordable Performance, or under his Morana Racing. They couldn't find anything that they sold any cams to him for a long time. So there's some fishy business going on under there. I don't know if the cams were old or he just bootlegged them from somewhere, but something fishy was going on there. So we tried to talk to him. He was saying, oh, you got to do this, got to do that. And at this point, the guys were already in 31 hours into my car, into the Mustang. And at that point, he kept saying, oh, well, now try this, now try that. Well, honestly, he didn't know what he was talking about. I came across, after all this, I did some really heavy research, and I came across 3 other people who had the same issue and said it was a nightmare dealing with Tom. So, with that being said, I looked it up. I documented everything from the beginning because I don't trust companies, and I looked it up. He was only 13 hours away. So, you know what? I decided I'm going to go and I'm going to pay all these places a visit. And if I have to, I will escalate this legally. I would go to the police station in the area and I would take this to the next level, because what Tom did, he shouldn't be doing. It's despicable. So, anyway, with that being said, he lied from the beginning about what all needed done. He lied saying that everything is included with the camshafts that will be in the box. He lied about a spec paper, whatever. There was nothing in the box, just the cams and the spring, nothing else. So he lied about that. He lied about the cams being his own. They are not his own cams. I don't know where he gets them from. He tried saying that, oh, he has them grind from somebody since 1980 or something like that. Well, when we called Lyft, they said that they never heard of him. That's where the cams originally came from. So I don't know if he got those cams or someone that he knows, a buddy of his, got the cams and then regrinding them more. So then decided to take it to Comp Cams, because Comp Cams got into the 4.0 cams at a very brief time and said that they are so much of a hassle, one little overgrind and you can mess up the whole thing. So they actually got out of doing 4.0 cams, so they won't even touch them. That's why a lot of people won't touch the 4.0 motors internally anymore, because it's just issues left and right. So went over to those guys and showed them. They looked over the cams. They looked over them, they measured everything, and they said these were way overgrind. They said these cams are useless. They said you can't use these. You're going to have misfires and you're going to have issues. So I talked to, basically, this point I said, you know what, Tom, fine. I want my money back. If you don't refund my money back, then I'm going to take this further. I'm going to take this to the next step. And eventually, finally, I saw an email and he said, he was going over, well, you need to shim it, and going over the same stupid stuff, which it acted like he acted like he didn't even know what he was talking about, because the garage that I took it to that builds cars, they build big motors, and they tried to get out of him. They said, because Tom claimed, oh, well, I sold 6 sets and never had an issue. Okay, so these guys said, okay, well, tell us who you sold them to. Give us the names so we can contact them and find out information, or give us garages' names. Give us details. Give us something, not just by blabbing stuff out. Give us actually hard facts that we can go by. And he's like, well, I can't do that. I can't. Because he can't do that, because he knows he's a liar and a shyster and a scam artist. So, with that being said, after I said about legal issues and that I'm going to contact the BBC of Canada and that I am going to take this a step further if he does not refund my money, I finally got an email saying, if you send us the cams, we will refund your money. So, the cams are shipped out, which I have don't want to go over it too much, but I got signature confirmation, and it will be sent. They should have it in 6 to 10 days. I'll show you the back of it. So this is the paper that it came with it. Also have the tracking and receipt on that as well. So yeah, that being said, and this is, I should say, not what came with the cams. I'm sorry, something else did come with the cams. I got this envelope right here that came with the cams, and all that was in that was a business card and a sticker that I'm going to be burning, because nobody should deal with this company. That's all that was in that stupid envelope. Yeah, so anyway, that's where we're at. The cams are on their way, and I will do an updated video. Funny thing is, after I left, because I left a review on his Facebook page. Since I posted my issues on Facebook and on other Mustang forums, now people are coming out of the woodwork saying, yeah, he screwed me over too, he scammed my buddy, and this and that. So, but the sad thing is, when I was doing the research on him, I looked over everywhere and I couldn't find anything. Nobody wanted to come forward until after I started saying, my story. Then everybody was saying, oh, yeah, he's a scammer and this and that. It's like, yeah. So, anyway, that's where we're at. We'll see if he refunds my money. So, oh my.